Hi there, my name is Jessica Drawson, and today I'm going to demonstrate the JD Santa's Magic overlays and brushes. They're going to add some fun Christmas light effects to whatever you're working on. So, first of all, to use them, you're going to get a download link that's going to go to whatever email is associated with your PayPal address. So even if you buy this on your phone, it will go to your PayPal email address, and when you're on your computer, you can just go ahead, get that email, and there'll be a download link, and then once you download, you'll have this zip here, and we're just going to extract it real quick. On a Mac, I can just double click it. And now we have our folder with all of our goodies, our Santa's goodies in it. I'm going to go back to Photoshop, and I'm going to go ahead and open from this folder. And first I'm going to add some Christmas tree lights. So I'm going to go into the lights folder and select one of these trees. I'm going to open. And now I'm going to just go ahead and drag it and drop it right on top of my image. So you can see I have a new layer. And right now it's blocking out the Christmas tree. So we want to change the blending mode from normal to either lighten or screen. And we're just going to place it on the tree, and you can resize it. You can make it larger or smaller. In this case, I actually gave you the final edit that happens to fit this tree, so it kind of works out nicely for me. We're just going to place it right there. And now if you want to, let's say, delete a few of these Christmas lights, we're going to create a mask. So we're going to go down to this, and we're going to push that, and now we see this big white thing here. We're going to make sure that we have black selected, and we are going to paint out. Let me just select a better brush here. We're going to go ahead and just paint out using black into this mask. Whoops, I need to up my opacity here. I'll put it at 100%. And we're going to just get rid of any of these lights that are overlapping our image where we don't want it to go. Now I'm going to lower the opacity here to about 30%, and just in some of the areas where the lights are receding a bit, I'm just going to lower their opacity just a touch to get them to blend in. Alrighty, so we've added one. Now let's add this second tree. And again, I'm going to go here to my file, open, and I'm going to grab tree number 2. And you can either just copy and paste it in, or you can go ahead and, like we did last time, just go ahead and drag and drop. And again, we're going to change the blending mode from normal to either lighten or screen, whichever you prefer. And again, I'm going to just size it. And now, again, we're going to create a mask. We're going to go right here, click this little mask button, and again, with a brush that's the appropriate size and with black selected, I'm going to make this 100%. I'm going to paint it off anywhere where I definitely don't want the Christmas lights to appear, like on Santa's arm or on this lantern here in the foreground. Okay, now once that's looking good, I'm going to again lower the opacity maybe to about 30%, and I'm just going to paint out a little bit of the lights here towards the edges of the tree to help those sort of recede a little bit in space. All right, so here's what we've done so far. whoops, I think I missed a little bit of the Christmas light on Santa here. So I'm just going back into that mask with my black brush till I've got it all the way out. All right. So now let's add a little bit of Santa magic here that he's kind of sprinkling into the scene. And to do that, we're going to again go to our folder, and this time we're going to select from one of the sparkly overlays. I'm going to go ahead and grab Santa Magic number 1. And once again, we're just going to go ahead and drag it right on into our image. And again, we can use it in lighten or screen mode, just depending on your preference. We can change the way that it's angled. We can even flip it if we'd like to. You could be sprinkling it down. I think the reason I chose not to do that is just because, I'll show you, I felt like the lights were getting a little bit lost when I did that. So I turned the sprinkles kind of like floating upward. So it's whatever you want to do, however you feel like it's helping your image the most. And then if you want to go ahead and not have all of that magic in a particular area, you would again just create a mask, and with your brush, select an appropriate size, and again, I'm going to just maybe do it at 100% opacity, and I'm just going to bring back his fingertips a little bit so that they don't get quite as lost here in the magic. And there we go. All right, so we've just added some magical effects to this scene. Now I'm going to show you a couple of the other ones so that you can try it a little different way. This is how I did it, but I'm just going to put this, I'm going to turn this one off, and I'm going to show you some different ways that you could approach this. Let's say, I'm going to go back in here, and let's grab one that will cover your whole image. Let's see here. I'm going to grab number 22, and again, I'm going to just go ahead and drag it and place it right on top of my image. And I am now going to put it in either lighten or screen mode. And if it looks like, oh my goodness, this is way too much, well, what we're going to do here is again masking, but this time we're going to do something a little different. This time when I hit this button on a Macintosh, I'm going to hit Option, and now everything's hidden. Or if you don't know how to do that, I'm just going to make a regular mask, and then we're going to go here into Fill, and we're going to fill it with black. So I make sure that I have my mask selected and we're filling it with black. Now what I can do is I make sure that I have white selected, and I'm going to paint into that mask. So I'm making sure that I have the mask selected. You can see this little box around the mask is highlighted. I have it at 100% opacity right now, and I'm just going to go ahead, sorry, my phone's dinging, and I'm just going to go ahead and paint in some of these sparkles. All right. Now let's say you feel like, okay, I like how the sparkles are the shape of them and their color, etc., but I feel like they're too big. So what you could do now is unlink the mask to your shape. So let's say you like where this area is appearing, but you feel like this is too large. Again, we're unlinking, we're separating the mask from its layer, and I'm making sure that the layer itself is selected. And now I'm grabbing my move tool, and I'm going to go to transform, scale, and I'm going to make it smaller. And I can make it just as small or as big as I want. Well, you're a little limited on the big just because after a while it'll start pixelating on you, but you can have it at 100% or even 110% without any trouble, or you can go smaller. And then, again, just I would relink my mask to my layer. And if you want to do any little touch-ups, like around his hand, etc., you could. All right, so that's how you would use one of the bigger sparkly overlays. You would paste it in, and then you would add a black mask, and you would paint in only to the areas where you wanted to use that overlay. Now let's say you want to use a brush. What we're going to do is, get rid of that. We're going to go here into this, and we are going to select the brush. So here is Santa's Magical Brush. Now you can either double click that and it should load in, or you can go up here to your brushes, and in this little gear thing you can go and you can say load brushes, and you can select your brush and hit open. And now here at the bottom you're going to see 6 different little Santa's brushes. So we're going to make sure we have a new layer. So I'm going to click on this. That gives me a new blank layer. And I'm going to make sure that I have a color selected that I want to paint in. So maybe it's white, or maybe I want to make it a little more golden in tone. So I'm selecting kind of a pale peachy golden color. And I'm going to select the size of my brush. And I'm going to now select the brush that I want to use. Let's go ahead and use this one. And I'm using a Wacom tablet, so if I press really gently, I get really small little magical things. If I press hard, I get bigger ones. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. Let's do one for real here. So we could make swirls or whatnot. It's totally up to you. If you like some of the work that you did but not all of it, you've basically created your own overlay in a way. And I'm just going to write this as brush work, because this is what you just created using a brush. But now you could add a mask, and you could go ahead and with a black brush you could just mask some of it out. I still have the I actually still have my little magical brush done, so it's kind of doing it in a scattered way, which is actually kind of cool. So I would encourage you to play around with these brushes. Let me show you some of the other ones. So here's again, I've created a new layer, and this time I'm going to use this little brush, and again, little different effects going on. And you can just hit it once individually and you'll get one effect, or you can drag your brush and get a whole different effect. So brushes are really, really fun to use. I made one too that includes some lights. I'll show you that really quick. So this is basically how it will look. And again, just that's one hit. So I'm just, pushing down, or I'm dragging, and you get, a whole different sort of magical Christmas lights look, which then again, you could just add a mask, and you could select a different kind of brush here. You could paint that out as you wanted to. So you're essentially making your own overlay, which is you made through my product, so don't like resell or share. So, but you can customize it for yourself as much as you'd like. So anyway, So we've talked about the overlays, we've talked about the brushes. Oh, and I'm going to talk to you also about the actions that are included. Now to install these, again, really easy. We're just going to go on Santa's Magic Actions and double click. And now it's going to appear in our Actions palette. And we're going to just select one. I'm going to go with the gold action, hit play. And I'm going to make sure right now I'm going to paint into this black mask. So I need to make sure that I have a white brush selected that's at an appropriate size. I'm going to make sure that it's 100% opacity. And I'm going to just draw in whatever Santa magic I want to draw in here. Obviously these will show up better against a dark background. So there is the Santa Magic Gold. And I'm going to turn that layer off now, and I'm going to show you the Santa Magic Iridescent, which is just a very similar action, but instead of it appearing in gold, it will appear in white. So this is that action. So you'll just be using a white brush, and you'll just be painting right into that mask, and you'll be able to add magic wherever you like. All right, well, I hope that was helpful. As always, if you ever have any trouble, you can just email me at help@jessicadrossa.com. And I thank you very much for watching this video. Bye-bye.